Though a conservative president was in office, the 80s saw a steady stream of progressive gender-bending drag flicks in theaters, including 1982's Tootsie and Victor Victoria, 1983's Yentl, and perhaps the hippest, most youth-oriented of them all, 1985's Just One of the Guys. Poor Terry Griffith, the girl just cannot catch a break. Sure, she's young and gorgeous and adored by her college boyfriend, but none of that's going to help the budding reporter land an internship at the local newspaper. In fact, in Terry's mind, being female is part of the problem. To prove that she is merely a victim of sexism, Terry decides to do what all teenage girls would do in that same situation: transfer to a new school and pretend to be a teenage boy. Its origins are Shakespearean. Just One of the Guys is loosely based on the Bard's Twelfth Night, with Terry playing the role of Viola Cesario. Director Lisa Gottlieb and Mitch Giannunzio wrote several drafts of the script, but you'd never know it from the credits. I wrote 6 drafts of the screenplay with my writing partner, Mitch Giannunzio, says Gottlieb. We got the project greenlit. We were denied writing credit, and the producers did not invite Mitch to the wrap party. I brought him to the party. Joyce Heiser was interested in making the movie because of its take on gender identity. Although it may be cloaked in a silly teenage romp, I was absolutely drawn to this project because of its subversive gender identity messages, for both young women and young men. The film actually operates on so many different levels and deals with so many teenage issues, from homophobia to the pressure that is put on kids to conform to a certain ideal, that it always surprised me that at the time of its release, it was not really judged for the sum of all its parts. Just One of the Guys actually made a big impact on many gay women. I would say the most interesting and surprising thing I learned about Just One of the Guys is the huge influence it had on young gay women, says Gottlieb. I learned this when we did a live chat on Jezebel a few years ago. For hours, women posted their stories, and I was genuinely moved. Guy Terry was based on Ralph Macchio. Dresses like Elvis Costello, looks like the Karate Kid, I'm gonna get him, was the declaration made by Sherilyn Fenn as high school vixen Sandy when she caught a glimpse of Terry, which was no coincidence. We based Terry the Guy on Ralph Macchio, aka the Karate Kid, says Gottlieb. We saw the physical resemblance and went with it. Remember that Columbia, the studio that released Just One of the Guys, was the studio that made the Karate Kid movies, and the first one was a giant hit as we were prepping. Terry's resemblance to Ralph Macchio must have made playing the role of Greg, the school bully, much easier for William Zabka in this second part of what could be called the William Zabka Bully Trilogy. Part 1 being, of course, 1984's The Karate Kid, and Part 3 being 1986's Back to School. Sherilyn Fenn really did think Terry was cute. I thought Joyce made a really cute boy, Fenn told the AV Club in 2014. I did. I was like, she's actually cute. It was sweet. Instead of making Friday the 13th Part 8 or whatever, I was making the Girl Meets Boy, Girl Meets Girl Dressed as Boy movie. Jennifer Jason Leigh was up for the lead. Though she played a teenager in the film, I think I was 26 when we made the movie, and I had to screen test for it, actress Joyce Heiser recalled in 2010. There were 3 women who tested, and one of them was Jennifer Jason Leigh. Going into it, I was a little nervous about Jennifer, because she got a part over me once before. But once the test was over, I felt pretty confident. I did not think that anyone could play that part as well as I could. Joyce Heiser was also a video vixen. A year prior to Just One of the Guys, Heiser starred in Dan Hartman's video for 80's classic, I Can Dream About You, which was featured on the 1984 soundtrack for Streets of Fire. 10 years after, she was featured in ZZ Top's video for Pincushion. At the time of production, Joyce was dating Bruce Springsteen, and a poster of the boss can be seen in Terry's bedroom. Actor Paul Lieber was Heiser's manly man coach. In early rehearsals in LA, the production hired a friend of mine named Paul Lieber, says Gottlieb. Paul is a gifted actor. He gives off an ultra-macho, manly man air, even though he loves and respects women. He's definitely not an a-hole, but can play one on TV. Joyce Heiser and I hung out with him for a week or so to hone in on his behavior, his movements, his line delivery, his sense of himself in relation to the world around him, etc. It was great. Though the climax of the film is permanently etched into the minds of everyone who's seen it, upon getting the role, Joyce hadn't intended to bear it all. While it seems like the most logical way to get the point across, Heiser was not sold on doing a topless scene. She even had a no nudity clause in her contract. It was director Gottlieb who finally persuaded Heiser to reconsider. I added in the boobage, the director said in 2010. I went to Joyce and I said, I keep rewriting these scenes. Honestly, I think you've got to show them. At the time, one of Joyce's best friends was Rosanna Arquette, Gottlieb said. Rosanna said, I would say you shouldn't do it because no one will ever look into your eyes again as long as you'll live. On the other hand, people will look at you and see those breasts forever, even when you're an old lady. And I said, wow, I'll strip myself after hearing that reason. Though part of the plotline, sexism even spilled over onto the set. I fired our first cinematographer because he refused to shoot my shot list during screen tests and kept declaring, "Don't worry, sweetie, I'll make your film look good," recalls Gottlieb. I said, "Have you read the script?" He said, "Don't waste my time, honey." So I fired his ass. I did not wish to waste any more of his time. The movie scored very well in test screenings, especially among the teenage group. However, 1985 in film saw a huge boost in the young adult genre, particularly the John Hughes films, which were getting a lot of publicity due to the Brat Pack. This movie ended up getting lost in the shuffle and only made a little over $11 million worldwide. However, it would later gain a much larger following on the home video market. So, tell me, viewers, was this film a comfort favorite of yours growing up like it was mine? Were you a bit too fascinated by Buddy's Playboy plastered bedroom, or was that just me? Please sound off in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and good night.